Certain evolutionary adaptations seem so incredibly complex, it's difficult to comprehend how they may have come about through the processes we've discussed so far. Let's take a look at some of these and propose an idea of how they evolved. Dr. Stephen Jay Gould's question is a rhetorical but a very good one. The modern eye of the type we possess, a camera eye, is quite complex, and so to expect a structure like that to evolve in its present form is not particularly parsimonious. Similar arguments could be made for legs or feathers. What good would only part of a feather or leg be to an organism? All of these types of evolutionary novelties are known as exaptations. That is, a structure evolved for one purpose ends up being repurposed for another. We will talk more about the evolution of legs and feathers in this context later, but let's examine a possible evolutionary pathway for the eye right now. This chart depicts the basic anatomy of the light-sensing organs of a variety of extant mollusks, the clams, oysters, squids, snails, etc., and gives us some idea how something as complex as a camera-type eye evolved. As you follow along from panel A to E, you can see the complexity is obviously increasing. But since evolution has no goal in mind, the final camera-type eye was not a goal, but a consequence of the changes which along the way convey an advantage to the organism that possessed them. Start with patella. They've nothing more than a line of photoreceptive cells. They can't make out images, but can certainly discern shadows and light from dark. Not true sight, but no doubt the ability to sense light and dark could be considered advantageous. Consider the prey species with this ability living on the bottom of the ocean. Being able to tell when a shadow passes overhead, perhaps a predator, would perhaps signal to the organism it should find shelter. As we follow along the panels, what is occurring is modifications to the eye which increase its visual acuity. The cup-shaped eye of the Pleurotomeria allows the organisms to concentrate the light as well as sense the direction it's coming from. The eyes of the Nautilus and Murex continue with this idea of forming a cup but have added a fluid-filled cavity. And in the case of the Murex and Loligo, a lens, all components which increase the complexity and the functionality of the eye.